And on the back of the police minister delivering his department's budget, we are now joined by the South African Police Union National Spokesperson, Lesiba Thobakgale, to reflect on some of the minister's pronouncements today. Lesiba, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. We've seen Bheki Cele table in Parliament a budget of at least more than 102 billion rand. What is your take on what he is prioritizing for the 2023-2024 financial year?
Thank you for having us, and greetings to your viewers back at home. When we look at the priorities that the minister put forth in his budget vote today in Parliament, we take note as well of the 70 million that has been reserved for Community Policing Forum, which we believe that that amount could be increased because Community Policing Forum plays a critical role in assisting the police in the fight against crime. And up until all our communities have active community policing forums, then the police will still continue to struggle in terms of containing crime within the Republic of South Africa. And further to that, we also take note of the commitment that the minister made, which spoke to the 10,000 recruits whom are currently at college, and also a commitment has been made that for the coming 2 financial years, the very same 10,000 would be trained in the SABC academies across the country. But we still believe that SABC needs even more resources, more especially when it comes to the human capital and also going to the physical resources. Remember, currently we are also doing policing in under circumstances of load shedding. Majority of police stations don't have backup generators, no solar, which will then kick in when load shedding hits. That on its own, it affects how policing should be conducted. Members of the community are not able to reach police stations during load shedding because the lines will be down, and even the two-way radios, you'll find that they are not able to be functioning where there is no communication between the police station and those members who are working outside there. So it is our view that we believe that in his budget vote, he should have also spoke more especially in increasing the issue of generators or solar system in all police stations so that our members can also be safe. We know police station attacks that our members find themselves being in danger because criminals, they utilize the issue of load shedding to go and take firearms and also attack police stations using that to their advantage. All in all, it is our view that the budget that is available for the police, it is not enough for policing to be contained up until such time where we have the same numbers, which would really go according to the United Nations ratio, which says that one police officer is supposed to be responsible for 210 citizens. Whereas now, when we look at the numbers of the police that we have, it is way below that ratio. So we really need to sort out that issue. Up until the numbers in terms of the human capital is equal to our ratio, the ratio of our population, because we just went above 60 million. And that is a concern on its own because now we have more population and we have less police officers whom are expected to fight violent crime as it is, as we have seen with the latest crime statistics. So we believe that there is more that needs to be done. And also, he has not touched the issue of upward mobility, where we speak to the promotions of our members. That is a concern to us because our members happen to be frustrated having to sit in one rank for a period of around 11 to 12 years without being promoted, as promotion is also linked with the financial benefits thereof. So that on its own, it is an issue that is really affecting our members because SABC on its own, being such a big organization, does not have any promotion policy. So those are some of the matters that really we are concerned about. And we would have also loved to hear about the reestablishment of specialized units because that has been a call that we were making because we know that we had those units, and indeed if they are re-established, they will be able to assist in fighting crime.
And Lesiba, another thing that I wanted to touch on is something you spoke of a bit earlier on when it comes to load shedding and how it affects police stations. There is more than 1 billion rand that has now been, taken into consideration for police station, and that is to construct and to upgrade police stations. At the same time, for priority crimes, a further 1.8 billion rand for visible policing. You are saying that it's not enough. What is your take when it comes to these two issues here? Visible policing, 1.8 billion rand, and at the same time the upgrading of these police stations, because one would say that when you go there in the dark, it's very difficult for you to seek help as a resident.
That is true. Police stations, they need to be a safe haven for the citizens of the country. Every police station needs to be conducive, it needs to be safe, so that anyone, when they go there, they can feel that they are safe. When our members themselves finding themselves not feeling safe because of when load shedding hits, there is no any backup generator. If indeed maybe the minister committed clearly that all police stations would have solar backup system, which will kick in when load shedding kicks, then we would know clearly that all police stations will be covered. At least now, when it comes to police safety in the police stations, that matter would be done. In terms of upgrading police stations, we welcome that. We still need to have more police stations that are built, and we need to build more police stations, and those that are currently, you find that they need to be upgraded. They need to be upgraded. We welcome that, but we believe that that budget that has been allocated there is not enough, because we need to build to increase the capacity of police stations. We just have 1,000+ police stations, but when we look at our forever growing population, those police stations are not really matching up, not especially when we look at the rural areas. Rural areas, you find that members of the communities, they have to walk a long distance to go to a police station.
Right.
So that on its own is not assisting in fighting crime.
Another issue that Bheki Cele touched on is Operation Shanyela, and he says that they will sweep the streets and sanitize communities from criminality, something that South Africa has been dealing with, especially when you look at the likes of KZN. They've been dealing with a lot of mass killings, and that also pertains to the illegal firearms which are doing the rounds. Do you think this will be effective in some sort of way to try and quell down, these violent crimes we continue to see in the country?
To deal with violent crimes, you need permanent solutions. And as an organization, SAPU, we've been upfront about that issue. That permanent solution, it is to re-establish specialized units. When you look at the murders that are occurring, they continue to occur in provinces like KwaZulu-Natal. That on its own, you find that the contingency plan that SAPS management would utilize is to form task teams to go and deal with those issues. And at the end of the day, those task teams, you take members from other police stations, you take resources from other police stations, you are starving those police stations in terms of the human capital and even physical resources, instead of you having permanent re-established specialized units, which will clearly follow on the modus operandi, because criminals that are operating, they operate from one area, they move to another area and so on. And if you have a dedicated specialized units that are re-established, they will be able to follow the modus operandi and follow the trends thereof, and be able to make sure that those criminals are dealt with accordingly, they get arrested and to be removed from our streets. But with whatever operations that can come, if those anyway, those operations, you cannot have them permanently. But re-establishing specialized units, you will have them permanently, which will work even between across provinces and bringing the permanent solutions. Because some criminals, they will commit murders in KwaZulu-Natal, and then after they escape, they go to Limpopo or they go to Gauteng or any other province. And if you have a coordination of these re-established specialized units, they would be able to follow one another and be able to contain the issue of crime. We need permanent solutions. Permanent solutions are re-establishment of specialized units which will be capacitated clearly. If you capacitate them clearly, they would be able to resolve the issue of crime. Without that, we will continue to see crime spiking so high now.
Another thing I wanted to touch on, Lesiba, is the issue of gender-based violence. We've seen that a further 100 million rand on the already 1.3 billion rand has been prioritized in the fight against gender-based violence. Another aspect that was touched on is the issue around the DNA backlog. Bheki Cele says that it has decreased significantly. Other parliamentarians are not convinced. Are you convinced that that has indeed been dealt with?
Gender-based violence is a pandemic, as the president has declared it so from that time of the lockdown during when COVID came into our shores. There is a need. We have been on record as SABC that we need to establish a specialized unit that will really focus on gender-based violence and strengthening community policing forum. That's why we are saying that the 70 million that has been set aside for community policing forum is not enough. There should be more money that is allocated in order to capacitate community policing forum, because most of these gender-based violence cases, they get to occur behind closed doors, where the perpetrator will go and intimidate even the victim to say, if you go to the police, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to do this to you. At the end of the day, if there is no community policing forum, those victims are not able to go to the members of the community policing forum, because they could go to them and be able to assist them instead of going directly to the police and bringing information to the police and saving the lives of many victims. So the strengthening of community policing forum, it is the one that will assist us in dealing and addressing the issue of gender-based violence in order to ensure that there is that cooperation between community policing forum and also the police when it comes to addressing those crimes, and also dealing with the issue of gender-based violence by having a specialized unit established for it. And in terms of the backlog of the DNA, it has been indeed on record many times where the minister, he's keep on saying that there is progress and so on. There also the issue of capacity and the issue of the necessary resources that the analysts there in the laboratories, you find that at times they do not have the necessary resources and some of the specialized tools that they need to utilize to make those analyses. So those challenges, they need to be dealt with permanently, so that there is not even an inch of a backlog. All cases, when they come, they can run.
All right, then. Thank you very much indeed. That is Lesiba Thobakgale. He is the South African Police Union National Spokesperson, just reflecting on some of the pronouncements which were made by the Minister, of course, saying that that 70 million rand, which has been set aside for the CPF, or Community Policing Forum, is not enough.